Welcome to another inspiring episode of the ALC Changemakers podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Sconiers, and today I'm thrilled to bring you a conversation with Ayana Jordan, Assistant Programs Director at New Directions Career Center in Columbus, Ohio. In today's episode, we dive into the vital work of supporting women's career development through a holistic, inclusive approach. Ayana shares how New Directions Career Center is meeting women where they are, without judgment, and providing the comprehensive support they need to achieve financial sustainability and career thriving. We'll explore the center's innovative programming, including its new Mature Works initiative, serving women aged 55 and older, its signature career development courses, and how it is adapting to serve diverse populations in challenging times. Ayana also opens up about the importance of belonging in career development. She shares her powerful call to action, emphasizing the need to approach career growth through self-compassion, patience, and incremental progress. Whether you're in a career transition, supporting others in their professional journey, or interested in inclusive leadership, this conversation offers valuable insights and inspiration. Let's dive in. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the ALC Changemakers podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Sconiers, and I am your day with Ayana Jordan. Hi, Ayana.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Yes, for listeners, Ayana Jordan is with New Directions Career Center and is the Assistant Programs Director. Ayana and I met through a mutual contact who's also been this podcast, Chelsea Elliott. So Chelsea is a super connector and connect the two of us. And as a result, we've been able to do some really cool things together, including a webinar that happened in August of 25, just to really work with the population that Ayana's group serves. So we want to learn all about Ayana and her leadership journey and New Directions Career Centers. So welcome. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you for asking, and I'm excited to have this conversation.
Awesome. So let's just start with you and your leadership journey. Ayana, what brought you to New Directions Career Center?
The mission brought me to New Directions. And just to say, we are a full-fledged career services center with career education, career counseling and coaching, employment skill building. We help you with the support of finding a job. So when I say full-fledged, it's kind of the full scope of different things for your career development. And at the end of that, our hope is that you are able to have a thriving wage and fully be financially sustainable independently, and so I think with that, I've always been attracted to anything that had to do with supporting and advocating and empowering women. And I was definitely attracted to that mission. And I've always, so many different points in my life, worked with women in various capacities through workshop facilitation, professional development, personal development. So this was just the right next step for me.
That's awesome. Well, I know we are new at ALC. We're new to New Directions and just really loving the mission. There's so much mission alignment. I know we did some work with you. It's really on this theme of inclusion, right? Inclusion and belonging in the workplace. Can you speak a little bit what that means right now for you at New Directions and why that's so important?
Um, Belonging, I think, is so important to almost everything, not just what we do, but I think in general. We have so many diverse women and individuals in general who come through our doors. And I think that we have to have a sense of consciousness around that so that we're able to support them in the best way that we can. We are a holistic career development center. So that means that we are not just looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, this is what you need in terms of your position or the job that you're seeking, but also who are you as a person? What are your core values? And that's different for everybody. So I think it's important for us to be um, in that space of understanding what belonging means, always seeking to be educated about it, and whether that's through training, through working with you, in partnership with you for more training, more professional development on our end, so that we can then be what we need for our clients. So at the heart of it, and belonging is everything. It creates community, it creates connection. It allows for us to be very conscious about our role and what we do for our clients and for each other.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's just so important. I think that's something that's really unique about New Directions Career Center is this holistic approach to the person. And these are it's women, right? So it's just like the approach to what these women need to be fully functioning, healthy, high performing in the workplace. And it's really special work. Can you name, we're in an interesting timeline, we'll just say. And can you name like the programs you have now or ways maybe you had to pivot or adjust to
Hmm.
emerging needs that may be happening right now? I'm curious based on the population you serve, if there's been things that you've had to adapt to or change just given this moment we're all kind of living in.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of things that we've had to shift and do a bit differently. For example, I mean, we took on, and this goes into that space of belonging too. We took on Mature Works, which is serving 55 plus,
Mm.
and so it's taking programs that we already have, but adapting those and cultivating a curriculum around a specific age group.
Mhm.
So we weren't doing that maybe a year ago, but we shifted to that as a way to open ourselves up to additional funding, but also a population that we want to serve.
Yeah.
And so it's not over when you reach a certain age, it's just a next chapter in your experience. So our goal is to ask those questions. What is that next chapter? What is it that you want to do?
Mhm.
And providing opportunity for them to set goals, to think about what does my career look like now that, I've reached this age.
Yeah.
What am I dreaming about? What are the things that will help me to sustain as I'm moving forward?
Mm.
So that was a pivot or shift for us. So we had to then think about what are some of the training and professional development pieces that we needed to be knowledgeable about in order to serve that population. So um, there's always shifts and changes that are happening when the world is changing, right? And
Right.
so we just have to make those adjustments based on it. And that's one way we pivoted. And I think we did a pretty good job of doing that and incorporating it into the programs that we already have.
Mhm. That's great. And are you noticing again, are there any unique challenges that your population's managing right now that people just know and like how to adapt maybe? Because I think adaptability is the name of the game. And I'll also name, because you work largely with women of color, seeing some really startling statistics, over 300,000 Black women losing their jobs
Mhm.
just this year in 2025, right? And counting, right? Like we're just seeing extraordinary conditions for folks who want to be back in the workplace. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm just curious as a career center, are there ways that you're navigating that or supporting folks who are in that struggle?
I mean, there's so many different ways that we're doing that. I mean, as a career development center, one of the things that we do is one-on-one career counseling. So not only are we, and we do group coaching as well, but I think that one of the most important pieces to this is that you're receiving career education but those one-on-one services to be able to say, okay, what are your challenges or barriers right now? To be able to listen to that so that she can move forward and feel like, I'm thriving. I can move forward now that, I've had an opportunity to sit with someone who will listen to me about that. I mean, because it is a startling statistic, and I think that we have to be knowledgeable about what's happening with different populations, and how to serve them based on what's happening, and what their needs are based on what's happening. So again, we do have the career education that's there, but the one-on-one services like the counseling and coaching really do help to support, what might be happening depending on what the population, Black woman, you Latino, whatever it might be in terms of how you identify. It's, I think, our responsibility to tap into that as a way of support.
Mhm. Yeah, when I think of what you offer, I think it's support. Like that's the thing that I think of when it comes to New Directions Cruiser. There's so many different ways that you support women. There's so many different events that you have and programs that you have. I'm super curious, are there certain events that are coming up? So for listeners, like what should they just be um looking out toward or being excited about that that you haven't.
Yeah. There's so many different things that are happening over the course of the next couple of, um, I would say, months here. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have Your Employment Success, which starts October 14th.
Mhm.
And that is one of our signature career development courses that we have. It's a core program under that core career education, excuse me. And so that is specific to 4 core areas. And most of our programming around these 4 core areas of self-assessment, exploration, goal setting. And then the last piece of that would be around your personal brand or self-marketing. And so this particular program is one that is the intro to that. So we talk specifically about who are you? What do you want to do? There's the assessment of that, the exploration of that, the goal setting, and then helping you to come up with a toolkit, if you will. What does my resume look like? Do I need to do a refresh of that? Are my interview skills where I want them to be so that I feel more confident when I'm speaking with someone, when I'm networking? So that's what that particular program is all about. It starts October 14th. We have LEAD coming down the pipeline, which you are going to be a part of, and specifically talk about inclusive leadership. And that is an advocacy program, a leadership program. We're doing a little bit differently this time around. It's a 2-day symposium starting on October 24th, and then the following week, October 31st. So those are 2 huge programs that are coming down the pipeline. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk specifically about our biggest fundraiser of the year, which is on October 2nd, our annual fundraiser to celebrate and honor our graduates who come through New Directions, who've achieved their goals, things that they've aspired to. So we showcase them. We honor one as our Woman of Promise. And we're doing it a little bit differently. We would normally have our Woman of Promise share, and she would share about her experiences, her lived experiences, her experience with New Direction. But we're going to do a panel this time around so that the honoree as well as the finalists can talk with one another in conversation. So those are 3 big major things that are happening down the pipeline.
I love that. I love that. There's connection throughout that, I think too. That's something I've realized with New Directions Career Center is that you really do care about the people that you serve.
Mhm.
There's a lot about relationship and connection and community that I've just picked up on knowing you these last few months. It's just really baked into New Direction culture. So I just want to name that for listeners. That's something I've just observed, and that's what I'm hearing just talking to you, Ayana.
You know,
You're so welcome. So before we wrap and close, I'm just curious, is there anything that you want to make sure listeners know about New Directions Career Center, and also where they can find you all if they want to learn more. You are based in Columbus, Ohio, right? So what else should listeners really know if they just want to learn more?
Mm. Oh, there's so many different things to know about us. But I would say more than anything that we are, and we say this all the time, that we want to meet you where you are. There is no judgment. It is a safe space for you to learn, grow, to really tap into what you want personally and professionally. And then also your own financial wellness. Because again, go back to what are the ways in which you can thrive financially at the end of this. And so we provide a safe space for you to be able to do that, and the support that you need to do that. And you can find us on our website, newdirectioncc.org. You can find us there. And that's where you'll get all of the information about our upcoming programs, and ways that you can support us through volunteering, and even giving.
Yeah, that's great. And before we wrap, do you have any like a call to action or words of wisdom for our listeners? Anything else that you think that they should know?
I would just say that I was thinking about this as we were going to have this conversation, and I would say that it would be to be patient with yourself, and that doing things in increments of time. I say this even outside of what I do with New Directions, but in general, it's just a theme of mine to think about how you do it with self compassion, patience, and increments of time. That's always helpful to your pathway to anything that you want to achieve.
Mhm, mhm. I love that. That's powerful and so important, especially now, right? That's really
Absolutely.
key. So key. Well, this has been lovely, Ayan. I'd love to have you back sometime in the future to talk more about the great work that you all do. For our listeners, we'll include all of the social media handles and all the information, new directions in our show notes. And as always, until next time, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the ALC Changemakers podcast. If you found today's conversation inspiring or helpful, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps other changemakers like you find our show. At Abundance Leadership Consulting, we believe in building sustainable leadership in connected communities through justice, courage, and care. If you want to learn more about our work, access leadership resources, or connect with our community, head over to jennifersconiers.com. Until next time, keep leading with purpose, keep building relationships that matter, and keep creating change, one bold step at a time.